The final numbers for the third 60th anniversary special for Doctor Who have come in the giggle, and they show that the show continues to lose viewers every single episode. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. With that out of the way, let's get into this here. I wrote this up over at That Park Place. You should have this website bookmarked. You should be visiting every single day. We have new content every day on the website. It is the number one place to go for pop culture news. Headline reads: over 750,000 people have tuned out of Doctor Who since the first 60th anniversary special. Indeed, they have. These numbers are coming from Doctor Who Guide that reports that the first special, The Star Beast, saw viewership at 7.61 million. Viewership declined to 7.14 million with Wild Blue Yonder. That was a drop of a little less than half a million people. Percentage-wise, it was just over 6% drop. The third episode, The Giggle, saw its overall viewership decline to 6.85 million viewers. That's a total decline of 760,000 individuals from The Star Beast. Percentage-wise, it's just shy of a 10% decline. The third episode declined a little less than 300,000 people from Wild Blue Yonder. It declined by a little over 4%. So we're still seeing pretty large declines episode over episode, although it did decrease there between the second and the third episode. Not as many people tuned out as they did between the first and the second. The overall declines mirror the overnight ratings that had previously been released. The Star Beast had an overnight rating of 5.08 million viewers, while Blue Yonder's overnight ratings clocked in at 4.83 million, and the Giggle's overnight ratings were 4.62 million. So obviously, mirroring the kind of that decline, but obviously once we see the overnight or the full ratings, much larger total number of people tuning out. The overnight ratings declined 5% from the first to the second episode. It declined over 9% from the first to the third, and the decline from the second to the third was over 4%. So the percentage-wise, it's pretty similar. If you compare these ratings to the most recent incarnation of Doctor Who starring Jodie Whittaker as a gender-swapped doctor, they look really good, at least if you just look at the fall-off. Whittaker's Who still had much higher viewership in its first three episodes. The first episode, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, had overall ratings of 10.96 million. It declined to 9 million by the second episode, The Ghost Monument. The show lost nearly 2 million viewers in just one episode. It was a decline of nearly 18%. So massive amounts of people tuning out from that first episode to the second episode with Whittaker. And then obviously that percentage decline was a lot higher, nearly a fifth of its audience. The third episode, Rosa, had viewership of 8.41 million. That's a decline of over 1.5 million from the second episode. That's a drop of 6.5%. So obviously, second to third really kind of saw that percentage drop decline, but still 1.5 million tuning out. And then the overall decline from the first episode to the third episode was over 2.5 million. That was nearly a quarter of its audience. So huge declines there in the first three episodes of Whittaker's Doctor Who. But it would take Whittaker's Doctor Who 6 episodes to decline to the levels of the Star Beast. So, as I was saying earlier, if you look at those percentage-wise, the number of people that were tuning out, it does look like these first three 60th anniversary specials are doing a lot better. But that's obviously because they're starting out at a much lower start point, right? You're starting out at around 7 million, whereas it took 6 episodes to get to below what the Star Beast was. The Demons of the Punjab was only viewed by 7.48 million people when it debuted in November 2018. And that was a 6th episode for Whittaker's Doctor Who. To get to the viewership level of The Giggle, it took 9 episodes. It Takes You Away saw viewership at 6.42 million. Of note, Whittaker's Doctor Who declined every single episode until the 11th episode, which was a New Year's special. That only brought in 7.13 million viewers. So we'll see what happens with Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. He just became the Doctor in The Giggle, and now he will have his first main role or main lead in this upcoming Christmas special. So we'll see what happens with viewership there. Probably we'll see an increase. If you look at the New Year's special here with Whittaker, it did see an increase. So we might see an increase with Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor right away. It also will be the first time he is the Doctor, so we might see a pretty big increase there. But I would expect after that increase, we'll probably see a lot of declines again, and we'll see what those declines are. Because I do think a lot of the reason why we haven't really seen the bigger declines like we saw with Whitaker's is because David Tennant was still around and people have fond memories of him, nostalgia factor, and all of that stuff. But uh, I do would be remiss if I didn't point out that these viewership numbers are primarily for the United Kingdom. It is not for the United States. We do not have viewership numbers in the United States yet. We do have a number of top 10 streaming charts coming out of Samba TV. None of the Doctor Who specials were made the top 10 charts. You can see here for the first week that the Star Beast came out, it is not listed. It's behind things like Leo, Squid Game, Best Christmas Ever, The Crown, season 8, or I think it was season 6, Lawmen, Bastard, season 1, The Killer, Genie, etc. It did not chart. You look at the following week when Wild Blue Yonder came out, it also did not chart. You can see it's behind Leave the World Behind, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Family Switch, Candy Cane Lane, Squid Game, The Challenge, Season 1, Virgin River, Obliterated, Lawmen, Bass Reeves, Leo, and Hunter Killer. And then when The Giggle came out, it also did not chart for this week either. It was best by Candy Cane Lane, Squid Game, The Challenge, Season 1, Family Switch, Leo, Virgin River, Season 5, Lawmen, Bass Reeves, A Nearly Normal Family, Obliterated, The Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday, and The Great British Baking Show, Season 11. We will probably find out later this week if it made the Nielsen charts, because the Nielsen charts will actually give us the week when the Star Beast came out. So we might get a better picture of how the show performed in the United States on Disney Plus later this week when those numbers come out. I'm going to guess, because it's not on the Samba TV charts, it's probably not going to chart on Nielsen either. I just do not think that there is a lot of viewership for this show on Disney Plus. We did not see any kind of press releases or anything like that. Even with Ahsoka, we saw press releases from Lucasfilm trying to tout how much of a success that show was, and it ended up performing worse than Andor. So I think that is telling that we haven't seen anything kind of touting this show's success, which means that people really probably aren't tuning in to watch it here in the United States. And that is a good thing, because this show is all about promoting degeneracy and hedonism, and we don't need that infecting our minds. But let me know what you guys think about these ratings. Do you think that they're pretty good? What do you think that the follow up is going to be moving forward with Ncuti Gatwa's tenure as the Doctor? Let me know in the comments below. And remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.